I was driving here tonight thinking about having to speak here and knowing that the topic was confidence in public speaking. So I'm practicing my speech in the car, and I made the mistake of leaving the radio on, and this song that I had not heard for many years had come on, and he was, "Doctor, doctor, give me the news." Okay, I can't sing, we know that, but you know how when something just triggers a memory, and I started to think about my childhood, and it brought me back to this one week when I was in school, and I was having quite a bad week. I had a stomach bug, and on the way home I tripped and I got a big bruise on my head. Now, luckily I had a fringe, and I was trying to hide it from my mother. Well, that didn't work. So that week she was feeding me. Home remedies was fried eggs with raw garlic all over it for my stomach bug. I was like pretty bad. There I was, this little wonk kid in a school full of Australians, and I stank of garlic. And then she stuck, for the bruise on my head, a 50-cent coin. She stuck it on, and that's supposed to stop the bump coming out. I was so embarrassed. So I don't actually know whether these home remedies worked, whether something else sort of worked, whether it was irrelevant. But what I do remember is being so embarrassed. And the worst thing was I was coming home and somebody was teasing me, and I was so annoyed. I kicked something and I hurt my foot. And for my trouble, I spent the next 3 days with half a raw onion in my sock. So I've never done that again. And luckily, as time has gone by, we've sort of usually, if something's wrong, you go to the doctor, and that's pretty easy. And as the years have gone by, I've been the one, as I've become an adult, to take my family to the doctor. And when my auntie became quite old, I would go and visit her every day, and if she needed any medical attention, I would take her. And usually I would walk by and I'd come in with lunch for her, and I would go, "Hello, Auntie, how are you today? Are you feeling okay? Have you eaten anything?" And my auntie would say, "Speak up, I can't hear you." So I'd speak a little bit louder. "Auntie, how are you feeling today? Have you eaten anything? Are you hungry?" And she would say, "Don't whisper, I can't hear you." So then I would go, "Auntie, are you okay today? Are you hungry?" And she would say, "Don't yell at me, I'm not deaf." And try as I might, she would not go to a hearing specialist. But finally she agreed that if her doctor suggested it, she would go. So the big day came, and I took her to the hearing specialist, and they did all the preliminary testing, and then she got put into this booth thing where they would pipe sounds in, and she would have to indicate if she heard them. Of course, after all the results, yes, she was deaf, not profoundly, but she couldn't. She obviously had lost a fair bit of her hearing. So they suggested a hearing aid, and I said, "Auntie, da-da-da-da-da, and they think you should have a hearing aid." She said, "I'm not having a hearing aid." "Auntie, I don't know if you heard me. You need a hearing aid because you can't hear properly." She said, "No, I'm not getting a hearing aid." And I said, "Why, Auntie, why not?" And my 94-year-old auntie said, "Because I don't want people to think I'm old." What? And then I realised that's not how she saw herself. I saw this little old lady, but she didn't. And she didn't want other people to see her as a little old lady. And so she tried her best not to come across that way. And in some ways this held her back because she wasn't dealing with old age. But on the other hand, it kept her feeling young, but she never believed that she was old. And I realised that actually throughout our whole life, everything is either fully controlled or at the very least coloured by how we see ourselves. You know, our work, our love life, our friends, what we do, how we study. And in public speaking, that's the big thing. Why are we afraid? There's nothing here to hurt us. Nobody's going to shoot us. We're not going to get thrown in jail if we do badly. The fear is something inside us. It's how we see ourselves. Like for me, the fear was always, if I get up on stage, people are going to know I'm a fraud. They're going to know that I'm scared, and they're going to laugh at me. And I can't do it because I don't want people laughing at me. And a lot of the time, just recognizing that is enough to move forward, just addressing what your fear is. And so I say, as always, if you believe in yourself, others will too, and the world is your oyster. Thank you.
Thank you.